Oh yes, good morning. Hey, there I am. Good morning. Hello. Welcome to yet another exciting episode of Redstone. Lapis Lazuli. Hello, hi, let me get a handle on all this stuff. Holy crap. Alright, so as you know, things are nuts. For real, things are nuts because I'm not used to this time change. The time change is what's messing me up. Like, I didn't have time. I woke up when I felt like waking up, and found that it was an hour later than what I'm like, oh no. So I had to rush to get things ready, and I didn't realize how many little things I have to do to get this show on the road. I had no idea. I totally forgot. There are so many things I have to do to get this show ready to go exactly at 8 o'clock. And even then, I was trying to get the last second things going. Oh man, this show's nuts. So hey, thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me this on my Sunday morning. If you are in the United States and you've been paying attention, you realize we are in the midst of a COVID-19 pandemic. A pandemic. Pandemic. What is a pandemic? It means when a disease has spread across all the continents. Multiple continents. Not just one continent, but multiple continents. See how that works? Yeah. Take care of that stuff for me, Iron Golem. Look at them. They all just bounce themselves against the cactus. And I don't have to do anything. I just hang out. And then when they die, they'll probably drop their things inside the hoppers I have around there. And those hoppers will feed back into a chest. Without me doing anything. I just hang out here and stay away. Yeah, that is the power of a slime chunk. And that design is by Mommy. Yeah, it's a great design. Totally passive. I just hang out. There's another one over there too. And I got one over here. So I'm covered. So check it out. I come over here. Yeah, so I would lose those slime balls there. But look how many I'm getting. I've got 21. Like, who cares? I lose 2. Big deal. If I really wanted them, I would extend the hopper line out further. And these arrows tell you which direction the hoppers are moving in. So that way you know. So for the thing, whatever falls into the hopper, the first thing it wants to do is go down. If it can't go down, then it will go sideways in the direction that the hopper's pointed. But first it will try to go down. Okay. So yeah, a lot of little things going on. A lot of big changes in the world. We got this COVID-19 pandemic, which is worldwide. Ooh, I missed. That's a parkour there. Come on. No. No, I can do it. Let me try one more time. Which one's... No, okay, alright, whatever, I give up. Nah. It's not worth my time or energy. Okay, so what do we got going on? I haven't really made anything. Here, here's the thing I can show you. Let me see, do I have enough I don't have any rockets. What happened to all my stuff? Dude, I'm naked, what happened? Did I die and not realize it? No. Where's all my stuff? I have no stuff. No, this is my backup gear. Hey, that's a weird bug. I am totally naked. What level am I? I'm level 0, like I died. I must have died somehow. And I don't even know it. Where was I when I... Oh, uh-oh. I must have died, and I had no idea. Because I have no stuff now. Yep, there's my... There's a zombie right there. There's my stuff. Out there too. What happened? I must have been chilling in my base over there, thinking I was safe, and a zombie spawned and killed me. That's what I'm thinking happened. I thought I was safe. I thought I was cool. And no, I was not. Oh man, that sucks. And I had no idea. I had no idea. Alright, food. Still got my iron. Oh man, I got my rockets, elytra. Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. I had no idea. I hope that's everything. Yeah, there's my bow. Alright. Got one arrow. That's all I need with infinity. Alright, I'm only coming here to repair my elytra. Okay, here, let me turn on the sound, right? You would like to hear sound. Yeah, a lot of guys in there. We're just gonna clean up a bit. Well, poop. I have to go back and make sure that my base is secure, because it's not, obviously. Oh man, that's scary. That was funny. Wow. Yeah, that would have been really annoying. Alright, it's all repaired. Well, that was an unfortunate and an unfortunate thing. Here, let's go back and murder that zombie, right? What a jerk. I wasn't even there, man. So like I said, there's a million billion things that I gotta do to get this show ready. And I thought I was cool to chill in this area here. But I'm not. There was this zombie here who killed me. You jerk. Which is why all my stuff was over here. Yeah, I gotta check this out. It's the black cat. So today is the deja vu. Today is the Ides of March. The Ides of March is just a fancy way of saying the middle of March, March 15th. And the reason why it's famous is because Julius Caesar was murdered, was assassinated on the Ides of March. He was, according to what, Shakespeare? Yeah, he was slowly gaining power. So Rome, the Roman empire was not really the empire, it was the republic. It was Rome the Republic. And the Republic has senators who are voted on by the people, you know. Now their democracy is a lot different than our democracy, I think. But yeah, technically landowners got to vote for the senators. And then you had the head of and then you would choose, the senators would choose a person to like lead their armies or whatever. And that was Julius Caesar. And Julius Caesar was really, really good at diplomacy and going to war. So, and that's why he was like promoted to where he was. And now I'm pretty rusty on Roman history. I don't really know Roman history. So, like anything I say could be totally wrong. But as far as I can remember, Julius Caesar just rose through the ranks to the point where he amassed so much power personally that he threatened the republic. You know, it was going to become an empire. He was going to be an emperor, where he didn't need a republic. He didn't need senators. It was all the power was going to be with him. So yeah, the senators got around and like murdered him to make sure that didn't happen. Right? and it was told to happen on the Ides of March, the 15th of March, which is today. So what do we got going on, America? We are part of the world. Today we find out that, or we should know by this point, that the United States is not a separate empire or by itself. A walled fortress. It was never a walled fortress. The United States, America, United States, is connected to the entire world. Everyone else, we are touching. We are in touch with. We feel everyone. That's the nature of our planet. That's the nature of what all the prophets have been telling you. All of them been saying, one world, one world. Everyone, you know, everyone's been telling you that. Well, we're finding out, right? Because if one part of the world gets sick, we all get sick. We are one. We are one. So, but it's been really, really weird. I would take South Korea and the United States. Those are the two people I would take right now. South Korea and the United States. In South Korea, they're right next door to China. Right next door to China. So they had very short time to act. They had to act very, very quickly because China's right there. And that means the disease could spread very, very easily to Korea. And it did. But South Korea acted immediately and instructed all their citizens to self-quarantine, stay inside. They enacted, the federal government enacted measures to test everybody. All the time you're testing people because then they can find out where's this disease. They're blind. They don't know where it's at. They're blind. So they're like, where's this? Where is it? And then ding, it dings her. There it is. So they start looking here and they go ding ding and then there's more and they're like, oh, it's a cluster. And then they start looking, well, how does this cluster work? In the rest of the world, it's old people who are dying, but here it's young people who are catching it. Why is that? Right? But they're testing. South Korea, testing, looking, scanning. It's their radar. It's their radar. It's their advanced radar. They're scanning their population for this disease, and then they ding. And their ding is different than other countries. Other countries, it's old people. For them, it's young people. So then it's like ding, 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 and then they're finding it, and they're like, oh, it's a particular like church group. Ah. So the way they quarantine and the way they focus their thing is informed by their intelligence. They have intelligence. They know what's going on. Take the United States under Donald Trump, the Trump administration. Now you have the United States. The United States is far from China. We're on the other side of the world. We have an ocean between us. the United States under Donald Trump looked at China and said, "Oh, look what China's doing." And then kept going. And then that cruise ship was discovered to have COVID-19. It had the disease. And what did Donald Trump do? What did he say? Oh, keep them offshore. I don't want them coming onshore and being counted in our numbers. Because all he cared about was low numbers. Did he do tests to find out? No. He didn't test. Because to Donald Trump, the truth doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters is power. So, to Donald Trump, low numbers equals power for Donald Trump. He doesn't care what the truth is, he just wants power. So when that cruise ship came down with it, and instead of bringing them on board and starting like big time, starting the program, Donald Trump ignored the problem and told his followers the opposite, and to increase his power. So, okay, great. Now this disease is starting to spread. It happened in Seattle, right? It happened up in Seattle. The state of Washington found this person who displayed all the characteristics of COVID-19. They had flu-like symptoms. Fever, a dry cough, I forget what else. But they tested this person with all the flu tests, and they didn't have the flu. Okay, they have flu-like symptoms, but no flu. They did a CT chest scan. A CAT, is it a CAT scan? A CT? It must be. Yeah, a CAT scan of their lungs. And they found ground glass opacities. What that means is that it looks like there's a bunch of ground up glass inside your lungs. Opacities means you can't see through it. They block the vision. That means they're there. It's there. You're not looking through mucus. You're looking through something that's like solid in there. And that's the solidified mucus inside your lungs, so you can't breathe. That's pneumonia, bilateral pneumonia. So it's in both lungs. That's why you can't breathe, because there's solid crap inside your lungs. Like it's solidified. It's mucus that's solidified. And so you have like hardly any room to breathe, in other words. It's like you're being strangled, but from inside. So instead of someone outside killing you, it's someone from inside going like that. I don't know. Yeah. You remember when Obi-Wan Kenobi crushed the machine around General Grievous? So now he has a cough. Because, yeah, now he has a cough. Okay. So yeah, this guy up in Seattle is coming down with what looks like COVID-19. So the states are like, hey, feds, can we test this guy for COVID-19? And the feds are like, no, not yet, no, not yet. And the state's like, okay, yo, we're gonna keep you isolated. You're still, like, we can't test you, but we think you have it. You're here. And then weeks and weeks go by. Finally, the state says, you know what, we're gonna do it anyways, feds. Screw you, we're doing it. So they test this guy, and they're like, oh, you got it, and we announce it. And all of a sudden now it's in the news. First case of COVID-19 in the United States. And does Donald Trump start announcing testing? No. No, he calls it a hoax. He says it's a hoax. It's a hoax. They're just trying to bring my numbers down. They're just trying to bring my popularity down, my power down. That's all the Democrats are trying to do. That's what Donald Trump says. Oh my God. It's like Donald Trump doesn't care about America. It's like he doesn't care. The only thing he cares about is Donald Trump and his power. What kind of person only cares about power? Oh, that's right, fascists. What's a fascist? Well, do you remember what Nazis are? There you go. That's what a fascist looks like. It doesn't mean all fascists are Nazis, but all Nazis are fascists. How about that? Not all fascists are Nazis, but all Nazis are fascists. It's like a flavor of ice cream. Like, you could have chocolate, you could have vanilla, you could have strawberry, you can have like Rocky Road. It doesn't matter what flavor your ice cream is. It's all ice cream. It's all sugar, milk, and cream. That's all it is. And ice, cold, and a little bit of salt. Yeah, it's all the same thing, just with a little bit of different flavoring. It's all ice cream. Well, that's the same thing with fascism. Nazis are flavor of fascism. Confederates, flavor of fascism. Proud Boys, flavor of fascism. Like 3%ers, flavor of fascism. Timber Unity, flavor of fascism. So Donald Trump only cares about power. He doesn't really care about what the truth is. The truth does not concern Donald Trump whatsoever. So he wants to hide the truth in order to make sure his power is high. So what does that do for America? Well, now we got, and then plus Fox News runs with the idea that it's a hoax. So they're misinforming all sorts of people. Their entire population hears the opposite of what's happening. The entire Fox population hears, oh, it's a hoax. It's no problem. It's no big deal. Don't worry about it. And who's the audience for Fox? Generally people over the age of 60. You know, the population most at risk for this disease. So now we have even more delay. Because now Fox starts introducing the idea that if you criticize the response of Donald Trump, that means you're being divisive. You're dividing the Americans. If you criticize the lack of action by Donald Trump, that means you're being divisive and you're hurting America. What? No, dude. We're pointing out the fact that Donald Trump ain't doing nothing. He's doing nothing. Nothing to protect America. He's doing nothing. The only thing he's doing is acting to protect himself. Why can't you see that? What's wrong with you? My God, look! But no, Fox tells them otherwise. And they trust Fox anyways. So weeks go by, days go by. More and more people are out there. Now it's a partisan thing. Some people are like, oh, I believe the science. I'm gonna take precautions to help my fellow human to not get sick. And Republicans are like, screw those guys. We're gonna go out and party, meet in big public gatherings, touch everyone, and hug and shake hands. Oh yeah. So here, I got pictures for it. I'm gonna go inside so I don't die. Be inside, don't die. Alright, what pictures do I got? Oh, yeah, here. So I'm gonna go through a bunch of stuff. You have no idea. Okay, wait. Where's it at? Nope, this one. Okay. Mike, listen. This was on March 9th. We're now 6 days away. 6 days away from this point. On February 27th, Italy had 600 people infected with coronavirus. Today has 10,000 cases, and the entire country is on lockdown. That was 11 days ago. For us, that was 17 days ago. So, at this point, March 9th, they had 600 cases. Or at that point, March 9th, we had 600 cases. So we've probably got 10,000 cases, but it's not reflected in our numbers. Why not? Because Donald Trump isn't testing anybody. I don't care about the politics of this. I'm worried about my mother who has lung issues. I'm worried about my baby girl who's a month old. I'm worried about all the people who are going to die, and we have to make a decision to demand testing, since that's what slows the virus. Because you can't, I think we're almost past the point of testing at this point. Because Donald Trump pissed away our chance, we're past testing. We have to assume everyone has it, and we have to lock down and quarantine, not lock down, but quarantine, like the whole nation, for months. For months. The alternative is millions of people dying. If you're okay with millions of people dying, then you're a sociopath. You're a Nazi. Look right here, right? Because look at the people in prison. Look at the migrants and the refugees who are trying to get into the United States and who Donald Trump locked into prison, into cages. The kids in cages are still kids in cages, and they don't have any say in how clean they are and how they can be separated from everyone else. They have zero say in it. Do you think the Border Patrol is gonna take care of them if they come down with COVID-19? Do you remember what happened to Carlos when he died of the flu? And he died because the Border Patrol didn't do anything. He was 16 years old. Do you think they're going to care when masses of their kids in cages come down with COVID-19? Man, this is awful. This is awful. Alright, so what are the first Americans to be diagnosed with coronavirus? A 48-year-old man from Rhode Island shares his experience with the Wall Street Journal. And here, I'm going to read the experience to you. For the people who think it's a joke, right? Turn off this music for a moment. Pause. Oops. Pause. Okay. Mark Tybalt was groggy and surrounded by beeping machines, but he was alert enough to know what it meant when he looked up and saw a priest wearing protective gear by his bedside at a hospital in Providence, Rhode Island. Holy cow! He thought to himself. I'm 48 years old and I'm getting my last rites. Tybalt, one of the first Americans diagnosed with the novel coronavirus, gave his first interview from the intensive care unit at the hospital where he had been for 13 days, fighting the illness that attacked his lungs. The married father of two, who is a vice principal at a private school in Pawtucket, Rhode Island, tested positive for the virus last month after returning from a school trip to Europe that went through Italy. A feeling of sluggishness on the flight home led to growing fatigue, a dry cough, and something that resembled bronchitis. He eventually landed in the hospital with a breathing tube in his throat and another inserted for medicine to deal with pneumonia that had developed in his lungs. It almost killed me, said Tybalt, who had slowly begun to get better. It's alarming when I hear people minimize it as simply a cold. It was no simple cold for me. Right? We can look at the way it kills people. So, look on the left here, and this is the flu. And you see the death rate for the flu is about 1.4%, just for the people who have, or 0.8%, 1.4 people of the people who went to the hospital, and 0.8 of all the people who get sick. Most of the people who get sick are 65 and older, and it's like that low. But for COVID-19, it's a lot higher. When we're talking millions of people, when we talk millions of people, like 1% of a million people is what, 10,000? Is it more than that? I don't know. I can't math right now, but if I had like paper to work it out. Anyways, yeah, keep going. Now to think otherwise, to think that it's a hoax, is a Russian thing, because they've tried this before. Uh, like I talked to a woman who thought it was a hoax and that it was a government-made virus. And this line of thinking has been around since the 80s, when the Russians used it last time with the AIDS. This is a replay of the KGB's Operation Infection, which claimed that AIDS was a biological weapon designed by the DOD to kill Africans. That operation was quite successful, so I guess they figured, why not try it again? So the last time they did it, it was Operation Infection was the popular name given to the disinformation campaign run by the KGB in the 1980s to plant the idea that the United States had invented HIV. Soviet propaganda costs countless lives, because it does. So here's Donald Trump lying. On Friday, he had a big press conference at the White House. When he had this big press conference, did he bring medical people? Did he bring medical experts like around the world to talk about how he was going to contain this? No! He brought a bunch of industry leaders, rich people, and talked about how much money they're going to make. And also he could raise the stock market, which it did. It went up a little bit at the end of his speech, right before it closed. So we're going to wait till Monday when it all comes crashing down again. So he did this speech to allow these guys time to take all their money out of the stock market and then leave a depressed stock market for everyone else to pick up. They take all the money out. They're going to take all their money out over the weekend. That's what they're doing. He bought them time with this stupid press conference where he lied. Google will not be publishing a national scale website for coronavirus testing anytime soon. They're not doing it. He lied. But his Fox people don't know that. They buy into it. So this is how Trump lies. 2 weeks. Trump said anyone who wants a test can get one. That was last Friday. And it was utter bullshit. And it's still bullshit. Right? You still can't. There's reports all over that you cannot get a COVID test, a COVID-19 test. You can't get it. They won't let you get it. So our government response has been an utter failure. The Republicans, I believe, were elected to dismantle government, and now we're going to see what happens when you dismantle government. That this is what they were elected for. This is what they were here. Why people picked them. You know, you ask a Republican, they say, yeah, government's too big. We need to scale down government. All right, good. Now we're scaling down government. How do you like it, Republicans? Let's look at South Korea, and let's look at the United States, and let's see, like, who's doing better. All right, so the Democrats put together a package to help Americans during this this showdown or this event. But 40 Republicans voted against it. And even then, the Democrats had to compromise with Donald Trump. The way they had to compromise was Donald Trump said, all right, well, if you want to give workers sick leave, fine, but only a small little group. Only the small businesses have to give people sick leave. If they're a big corporation, they don't need to give sick leave. Only mom and pop shops have to give sick leave to their workers, paid sick leave. And Democrats are like, oh man, really? Come on. Donald Trump was like, no, only mom and pop. I want this burden to fall on the mom and pop shops, and because my people are the big businesses. So, yeah, we want to drive mom and pop shops out of business. And this is our opportunity. And I'm a predator. Donald Trump, I understand when to strike against the weak. I understand when a woman's most vulnerable. I know when to grab her. And I'm grabbing her right now. So yeah, the only people who have to guarantee sick leave for their workers are mom and pop small businesses. That's it, not big businesses. Democrats like, fine, whatever, dude. Oh, we get all this other stuff in, so that's fine, whatever, fine, and it goes through. That's just what happened. And even then, 40 Republicans voted against it. So let's look at how bad this is going to be. Angela Merkel said that 70%. She's an educated woman, Angela Merkel, Germany's chancellor. So she's like the prime minister. I don't know. I'm not even sure what that means. President? I don't know. But yeah, Angela Merkel. She's smart, and she says 70% of her population is going to get this disease. That's insane. You cannot have 70% of a population at the hospital at the same time. You cannot do it. You can't do it. If you do that, it's going to destroy your medical system, which is what happened in China, and it's what happened in Italy. It's going to happen here. Yeah, the GOP blocked it at first. They weren't going to let it happen. This is what it looks like in Italian hospitals. They have so many sick people, they have to bring out cots for them and put them wherever they can. That's how many sick people they have at the same time. That's what's going down. That's what it looks like. So remember how Donald Trump said, oh yeah, we're waiting to hear back from Jared Kushner about the response they're going to have to the coronavirus? They asked him, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And he said, oh yeah, we're waiting for Jared Kushner to come back. Well, this is what Jared Kushner was doing. This is what he was doing. He set up his own company to test for coronavirus. That's what he did. He set up a company so he and the Trumps could personally benefit from this coronavirus. That's what I mean when I say Donald Trump is a predator. He knows when women are vulnerable, when he can grab them by their hoo-ha. He knows, and that's what he does. That's what he does. Oh, look, America is vulnerable. Guess it's time to grab her. Because this way, on the right, this is what we want, right? This is South Korea on the right. South Korea tested everybody because they want this thing to hit. If everyone's going to get sick. But the point is to make the number at the same time sick as small as possible so that your hospitals are not overwhelmed. But the United States under Donald Trump is going for this version. With this version, everybody gets sick at the same time. Everybody goes to the hospital at the same time. And that means there's not enough room at the hospitals. So if you get sick and need to go to the hospital and you can't go to the hospital, you might die. And a bunch of people are going to die. This is the way Donald Trump is going. This is what Donald Trump wanted. So understand the implications of what that means. Right? You know how everyone rushed to the stores at the same time and bought everything out at the same time instead of like staggering their visit a little bit now and then you go and you go? Yeah. Now, imagine the same thing in the hospital. But instead of toilet paper, it's ICU and ventilators. And now there's not enough. That's why we're trying to cancel everything. That's why we want this. Like Donald Trump is looking this way. But Americans, we want this. We don't want people dying. We don't want people overloading our hospitals. So we are acting independent of Donald Trump. F Donald Trump. That guy's a fascist. But if you care about your fellow Americans, of all ages, not just the elderly, but all ages, and even the people who are just sick and just regular, because that's what's going to happen. Having a bunch of people sick with COVID IV 19 is not going to stop people from getting sick in regular ways. What if you have a heart attack, just not related to COVID-19, but just a heart attack, just because? Heart attacks happen, strokes happen, stuff like that happens. That's why you have a hospital. Well, if they're going to, normally they would go to the hospital and it'd be taken care of. But now the hospital is filled with people who have COVID-19. What do you do with the people with the heart attacks? What do you do with the people with the strokes? What do you do with the people with seizures? My God, it's gonna So if you're an American, you are going to purposely practice social distancing. Don't go near other people. Don't go out. And I know it's gonna kill our mom and pop shops. I'm sorry, but you know what's gonna kill your mom and pop shops even worse? If mom and pop get COVID-19 and die, that'll kill it a lot worse. This is no regular la la la, let's keep going. We are changing. We are changing right now. We are changing the way we do things right now. We have to. We must. Because we can't look to Donald Trump federal government. They're borked. Forget them. It's us. It's us Americans. We got to do it. So understanding that mom and pop shops are going to have a hard time, if you can find out some way to help them out without actually going there, might be good. Yeah. Yeah, dude, it's wartime. It's wartime. They're treating it as if it's a war. That's how they're handling it right now in Italy. In Italy, there are a lot of young people in our intensive care units. Our youngest is a 8-year-old who had no comorbidities. A lot of patients need help with breathing, but there are not enough ventilators. They've told us that starting from now, we'll have to choose who to intubate. Priority will be given to young or those without comorbidities. At Niguardia, the other big hospital in Milan, they are not intubating anyone over 60, which is really, really young. I mean, that means if my mom were in Italy and she got sick, she would be dead. And she needed to be intubated, they would skip her. She'd be dead. My mom. Dude, she is 66. She's fine. There's no reason she has to die. That's dumb. So the White House wanted to keep this all secret. On March 11th, that was 4 days ago, they were trying to keep everything hidden. They didn't want people. They didn't want the numbers to go up to show that they were totally ineffective in keeping the numbers down. They wanted everyone to just ignore it. So, yeah. And this is going to be the end of Donald Trump's presidency. Because he could lie about everything else. He can confuse people about everything else. Donald Trump worked with Vladimir Putin. But if Donald Trump tells his people, it's okay, and his people will believe it. And they'll keep on trucking. If Donald Trump breaks the law, steals taxpayer money to extort the president of Ukraine into helping Donald Trump get elected, and we prove it, but if Donald Trump says it's okay, his people will say, all right, yeah, we listen to Donald Trump, it's okay. But no matter what Donald Trump says, no matter what he says, it does not matter what he says. It does not matter how much he bullshits, how much he lies. I don't care how charismatic is Donald Trump. I don't care if he's the most beautiful person in the world to these people. It does not matter. Because he cannot lie about someone getting sick and dying. You cannot lie away a tsunami. You can stand on the beach and dance around and say, look it, I'm okay, look it, yay. But when that tsunami comes in, you're going to die. And you can't lie about it. So, people are going to die. A lot of people are going to die. And it's because Donald Trump chose to do it this way. And the reason why Donald Trump is there is because the Republican senators chose to keep him there. The reason why the Republican senators chose to keep him there is because Republican voters chose to put those Republican senators there. Republicans chose this way. So we're over here by now on day 12, where we're starting to shut down all our schools. Come back over here. Now, while I was making the show, I heard about a former... Oh, wait, let me do it this way. Now, while I was doing the show, I heard about a former Miss Nevada beauty pageant person talk about how she was like, I don't care about this COVID-19. I went to Red Robin, and I brought my kids, and it was super crowded, and we all ate together. You know what? Come on, dude. I know there was more. Where's that other one I wanted to show? Hold on. Sorry. Did I not? I must not have done it. I thought I did for sure, man. What are you talking about? I didn't do it. Yeah, I see them here. What are you talking about? All right, here, like this. Open with. Okay, does it show up? No. What if I kill this one? Close. No, the window's stuck there. How do I unstick that window if I close the whole thing? No? Okay. Now. Yay! Alright, there it is. Okay. So look what's happening. Look what's happening. There's a partisan divide when it comes to information. Why is there a freaking partisan divide when it comes to coronavirus information? Truth is truth. Science is science. There ought not to be any difference between the two. But yet we have like a... We have a partisan divide when it comes to the coronavirus. There's a partisan divide. It's like, why is that even there? How can that be? Is there anything else I missed? Brian Kemp. Yeah, dude, this guy. So Brian Kemp. Okay, let me remind you who Brian Kemp is. Brian Kemp. Oh, come on, dude, like that. Nope, he's not gonna let me. It's gonna make me maintain the aspect ratio. Can I change that? Nope. I cannot change the aspect ratio of this window. Oh, here we go. Will this work? Nope. I don't know what I just did. Let me think. No. Alright, whatever. Let's do it like this. Okay. I'm gonna run back inside so I don't die. Because you know what sucks? Waking up in your bed and not knowing what happened. Okay. I guess it's good if you can wake up in your bed though, right? So, Brian Kemp canceled an election to fill a vacancy on the Georgia State Supreme Court. The election was nonpartisan and 2 candidates were running. Instead, he plans to fill the seat through appointment. Brian Kemp is only governor because of voter suppression. This mofo cheated a bunch of stuff in the last election. He's a dirty trickster. He cheated Stacey Abrams out of that governorship. He's dirty. Dirty trickster. That goes in line with our idea that Republicans are anti-democratic. They don't care about democracy. Remember, Republicans only care about power. They don't care about value, like our values, like fairness, equality, justice. They don't care about that. They care about power. Fascists, Nazis. That's why they're Nazis. Republicans are Nazis. Do I got anything else here? Let me see what else I got. I mean, I got that video of Donald Trump talking about how he's not responsible for anything. And then you go, yeah, only I can fix it. Oh no, I'm not responsible for anything. All right. Well, I gotta have some good stuff to talk about. I think this is gonna destroy Donald's presidency for the rest of the presidency. After we start seeing people not do well, or like when people start getting sick, and Donald Trump has his lies are exposed, like because there's nothing he can lie all he wants, but he cannot bring people back to life. And his followers are going to see that. He cannot bring people back to life. So we're going to get through this, and we're going to have a lot of damage to fix. A lot of damage to fix. So, hey, look at this. You can see the old track where I used to go to get to Mount Trayvon. And then watch this. This is even cooler. Okay, so you keep going east. Keep going east. And you have a little village there. Oh, look how nice, little village. But what's that over there? Oh, a village right there too, in the middle, in the forest. What's this? Why? It's my old base. I made a base here a long time ago. This leads to the nether fortress. The blaze spawner. Ooh, scary. Yeah. Oh crap, that's a whole bunch of dudes there. Yeah, so at first when I made this a long time ago, I had no idea where this gate went out to. I made a base there, but I didn't know where it went. Like, I mean, it went here, but I didn't know where here was in relation to everything else. I had no idea. Like, it was out in the middle of nowhere as far as I was concerned. And this base is so old that I made it before there were water, before the aquatic update. So this is my first item sorter that I ever made. And I was so proud of it because I made it. And it's broken. It's broken. But whatever. And then so, because there are no water elevators, I tried making a slime elevator. A slime block elevator. But those things are totally not reliable. Because of the way redstone works on bedrock. So yeah, this was my way of going up and down, was with rail. I couldn't use, it didn't have a, what's it called? Emergency exit. Yeah, because I would just take a cart normally. And here's that unreliable, most scariest elevator ever. And you can see it's stuck. It got broken somewhere up there. And I don't know how to restart it again, so I'm not gonna try. The deep halls. What's that? Oh yeah, hey. Oh, I haven't explored anything here. Look at it. It's all naked. Well, maybe a little up there. This way. So yeah, we're gonna have a lot to fix, guys. But remember, Donald Trump was elected to dismantle the federal government. That's why he was chosen. And that's what he's doing. He dismantled the team Obama put together to take care of pandemics. He got rid of him. And his response to this event was just like terrible. It was terrible. And a lot of people are gonna die. And I hate to be the one to tell you, but that's what's gonna happen. If you've also noticed, our economy is kind of crashing. All the what's it called? All the stocks are crashing. But that's not really the problem. I mean, that's just what happens. Stocks crash. The problem is that the way Donald Trump has managed the economy up to this point. So think of the economy like, okay, so remember, the United States, we have this thing called the Federal Reserve Board. There are a bunch of people that, they handle things called the interest rate. So the way the interest rates are supposed to work under Keynesian economics is that the economy is like just gliding along, la la la. You don't want it to go up and down a lot, right? Because if you do that, then if you have straight ups, you'll have straight downs. So what you want to do is try to find a medium. And what you do is you use interest rate drops for little boosts to boost it. So think of an interest rate drop as a booster that keeps the economy going. So if your economy is low, you can lower the interest rates and it'll boost you up higher, the economy higher. But you don't want to keep using it too much because you'll run out of rockets, number one. And then plus, once the economy peaks and there's nothing left, you're going to come straight down. And if you come straight down and you crash, it's going to hurt. Like, You want to use your booster rockets to make sure that you have a smooth landing, not a hard landing. You want to land smoothly, like that. But if you use booster rockets, all your booster rockets all at once, and you have no more booster rockets, you're gonna crash. Well, Donald Trump, in order to keep the economy was going down. It was going down anyways. It didn't need any help, right? It was like already cruising along normally. It didn't need any help at all. But Donald Trump kept using up the booster rockets, kept lowering interest rates. So our interest rates are really, really, really low in the United States. But that means now that the economy is crashing, we have no more booster rockets left. Donald Trump used them all. So we're gonna have a hard landing. It's gonna suck. So on top of this economic slowdown, we're also gonna have on top of this global pandemic, we're gonna have a economic slowdown, and it's gonna be like the Great Depression again. so yeah, I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's what it looks like to me. And man, that sucks. I don't want to leave you guys with like this bad idea of the way things are gonna go. But I don't know what else to tell you. Once we get control, it'll be a lot better. But now I'm worried about even having an election. Like, what we should do is vote by mail, like Oregon does it. Because vote by mail is great. You don't have to go near anyone. There's no crowding. There's no lines. Everyone just gets a ballot mailed to them, and they 3 weeks ahead of time, and then they just hang out. And that's it. I like vote by mail. I think vote by mail is what we need to do. Also, what we need to do is instant runoff voting. So that gives more power to the voters. Instead of, if you have like 5 people, instead of only voting for one, what you do is you rank the people. And then we take all the votes together and we count up everyone's number one vote. And if nobody has over 50%, then we take the lowest number of the person with the lowest number of votes, and we eliminate them. They're gone. They're cut out. Now we have 4 people. But those votes that were for this person aren't gone. They're not eliminated. What you do is you move them back to their number 2. Whoever they chose for number 2, you reallocate their votes. So it might be that the number 1, the top person changes. But it doesn't matter until you have 50%. You have to have the majority. So if when you reallocate them and still nobody has 50%, you find the lowest, you chop them off. So suppose your number 1 is eliminated, and now your number 2 is eliminated. Well, that's fine, because then your vote goes to number 3. You reallocate votes. You keep doing this until somebody has 50% plus 1. You have to have the majority. When you have the majority, that's the person who wins. This is a superior voting method to first past the post. When you have first past the post, then you get problems like spoiler candidates. Spoiler candidates are no fun. You don't want spoiler candidates. You don't want to. If two liberals are running and 1 conservative, under first past the post, what happens is the 2 liberals split the vote, so they each get 30%. But there's only 1 conservative candidate who gets 40% of the vote. He wins, even though the majority of people wanted a liberal candidate. That's what I'm talking about when I say spoiler candidate. That's first past the post. That's our current system. That system is terrible. They tried that up in Canada. It happened in Canada. That's how they got Harper. It's because the liberals split their vote. If they would do instant runoff voting, conservatives would have to change their method. In the United States, if you want a fairer vote, you should institute instant runoff voting. Like, imagine this is the way it would work, right? You have Bernie Sanders and you have Joe Biden running right now, and so let's pretend we also have Elizabeth Warren, right? If you have instant runoff voting, you can vote for whoever you really, really want. But if that person, okay, so we have three people. We have Joe Biden, we have Elizabeth Warren, and we have Bernie Sanders. Let me get blocks. I need to go home for that. Why am I doing it in my hand? I should do it in the game. Yellow, no. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Into the mines. Okay. So you have Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, and people vote with green. You have 10 people voting. We'll say Joe Biden gets 3, 4. Okay, Joe Biden gets 4. Bernie Sanders gets 3. Oh, we need a fourth one. Here, we'll say like that. Okay. Yeah. Stop this music. Okay, so Joe Biden gets 4 votes. Bernie Sanders gets 3 votes. Elizabeth Warren gets 2 votes. Klobuchar gets 1 vote. We'll just say that's the way it is. Nobody has 5 votes or more to win it, or 6 votes. Should we like that? No one has 6 votes to win. So, under first past the post, well, Joe Biden has the most votes, Joe Biden wins. Even though you take Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders together, they have more votes. And we'll say Amy splits the vote. So, okay, under first past the post, Joe Biden wins. But let's do ranked choice voting. Okay, so right now we do ranked choice voting. You need to have 6 votes to win. So Joe Biden has 4, Bernie has 3, Warren has 2, Amy has 2. Well, these guys are in last place. They lose the vote. So we eliminate their votes. But their votes aren't gone. They get moved. So Elizabeth Warren votes, 2 go to Bernie Sanders. And Amy Klobuchar votes, 1 goes to Bernie and 1 goes to Joe. Then we recount. Oh, look, Bernie Sanders wins. Right? That's how you do ranked choice voting. You get a candidate who most people agree on, even if at first they don't have the most. This way of voting is much stronger for the voter. Your vote, the individual voter, is more powerful by this voting method. I think we should do both instant runoff voting and vote by mail, so you have plenty of time to choose. This is my this is my happy good message for everyone in the United States. Something to look forward to, something to work toward. This voting method, you will feel much better about democracy if you can get this method in. Because sure, they might be able to do, it's a lot harder to do voter suppression through this method. It's a lot harder to do vote suppression. This will work. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out. Remember to do your civic duty and take care of one another, because that's really what it's going to come down to. We need to take care of one another. It's going to be a weird time for the next couple months, year, whatever. It's going to be weird. Things are going to be different. Your normal life is gone now. So let's remember that. This is life and death. Okay, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Until next time, Pogo Kiddo out. Peace. Stop.